learning designer, and today we're going to talk about how AI impacts the workforce as well as the economy. Number one of the things that is a little scary about AI is the job displacements. I wouldn't say that there would be a huge influx of jobs being lost because of AI, especially because AI is being integrated into a lot of workspaces. It can also create new jobs. So if you haven't seen already on LinkedIn or any other job boards, there is AI requirements all over. So if anything, it's going to be creating this new skill set as well as these new requirements, because who's going to manage AI? Who's going to make sure it's following these ethical practices? It needs people behind it no matter what, because we can't really depend on AI the entire time. Now, even though AI can create new jobs, there are going to be a lot of hard skills. And when I say these hard skills, I mean data management, programming, coding. It's going to need a lot of that knowledge. So if you are getting into AI, understand the research behind it, understand what goes into it, maybe pick up a certification or two, or go through courses that go in specifically about AI. These are the hardcore skills that you will need to learn unless you are doing something kind of hybrid related where you will work beside AI, such as like manufacturing or other labor jobs. Now, to use some type of example, I'm going to use my job as a learning designer, e-learning designer, instructional designer, any of those titles where you're creating curriculum, where you're creating classes, courses, anything of that nature. You understand that ideation or the brainstorming session is probably the longest and most complicated part of the process, especially if you're a product designer. Why is that the most complicated part? Because there are a million ideas flowing, but you're still trying to figure out what is the possible solution. So AI can actually help you break down some of those complex problems and give you some reasonable solutions. With that being said, AI can help kind of shorten a lot of those time frames that I mentioned. You may have a project that you need to get done within the year. It's a big project. It's something that we want to roll out and make sure that our users are able to complete it, but we want to make sure that they can reach that learning objective. AI can help you with some of those ideas as well as implementation and what steps to, create an efficient system and product. Now, when it comes to the workforce and AI, I do want people to understand that AI is not something that you should 100% rely on. And the reason why you shouldn't rely on it is because there are still practices that have not been fully, foolproof. For example, security. Where is the security when it comes to AI? How can we ensure that all the data that's being inputted is safe? How do we know that the people behind it are following the right measures in order not to have data stolen, breached, or compromised? Another one is bias. I've talked about bias in some of my articles, which you can read on my LinkedIn. But when it comes to bias, remember that AI is still a machine. It's something created by humans. As humans, we have bias, whether it's conscious or unconscious, and it does reap into our AI. With AI, it pulls a lot of information from all over the world. And because the world has different biases and different prejudices, it's going to show up in the system. So understand that AI shouldn't be 100% relied on. And I also just want to end this with saying that AI is not human. We have empathy, we have sympathy, and we know how other humans work. We can put as much data as we want into AI, but it's never going to understand people the way people do. So don't see AI as something that's going to completely take over jobs and workforces, but something that we can work with to our advantage. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Tanya to give you a little bit more insight from her point of view. Bye.
Thank you for that great information, Brittany. Hi, my name is Tanya, and I'm a cybersecurity professional. As Brittany mentioned, today we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence. The definition of artificial is to make something that mimics something, usually a human model. The example that Merriam-Webster gave in their dictionary is an artificial limb. So if you've ever seen anyone with an artificial limb, leg, arm, it's designed to mimic the human body. It looks a lot like a human limb and it functions a lot like it. But you'll also understand that it outperforms the human body because it doesn't get tired or sore. Now, you combine that with the definition of intelligence, which is the ability to learn. You get a high level understanding of what artificial intelligence is. So artificial intelligence can come in multiple ways. So you have your robotics that are designed to repeat a human task. So a lot of warehouse jobs, you may see robots now in those jobs that are doing human-like tasks, but at a more efficient rate. You also have computer programs that are designed to do human tasks. So you probably have heard of ChatGPT, which is an artificial intelligence machine that has been designed to create code, create songs, write papers, do a number of things that are convenient for humans to no longer have to do. Now, how can this impact our workforce and economy? First, it will replace jobs. You may call a company for support or go online like a chat box to get support on something that you've ordered or something that you need assistance with, and you're going to be greeted with an artificial intelligence agent. These agents the attempt is to help resolve your issues without having to get a human involved. That has replaced probably hundreds of thousands of customer service agent jobs. If you really think about it, there used to be humans every time you picked up the phone and called. There was a human on the other line. You may have to wait a while, but there was a human there. With the artificial intelligence agents, your wait time is usually a lot shorter, but it has misplaced a lot of jobs that were in the market. In addition to that, I do believe as we move forward, it will replace a lot of jobs in the warehouse, banking, healthcare, retail spaces, because it can do things more efficiently, quicker, for more hours than a human can. How can we combat this is I think companies really need to be transparent about what they are using AI for. Now, AI can have pros and cons. It can reduce the amount of time for surgeries, for instance. So the healthcare industry, it can better educate our children in that it can pinpoint different academic skills or targets our children in a different way than every student learns the exact same thing. Now, how we can keep up with this, though, is we're going to have to teach our children to code at a much earlier age. The STEM jobs will be in high demand. So those that don't have that skill set for the STEM jobs, there could be a gap in the economy there. Like most advancing technologies, I do believe that we can bounce back. We are very flexible when it comes to changes. As long as it's carefully planned for and analyzed, as long as there's transparency from the government, from companies to alert our economic decision makers that they are switching to AI so that that data can be analyzed. I know a lot of companies don't like to do that because they want to be cutting edge. They want to have an advantage over a different company to get your business. So a lot of times they're not going to be completely transparent about we're going to get rid of, an X amount of employees and replace them with artificial intelligence. But if we don't want to repeat past mistakes, that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to be transparent about easing AI in, truly analyzing the impacts, truly analyzing privacy and how privacy can be impacted, how economics can be impacted, how education can be impacted, like a true thorough analysis to get through this as a growing pain. So that's my take on artificial intelligence and how it can impact the workforce and the economy. I hope that you learned something or enjoyed the conversation. Thank you, and we will see you next Wednesday. Happy Win-Win Wednesday. Have a great holiday, everyone. Goodbye. Listening, and we can't wait to hear your comments below.